Hi guys. I'm recording this for my blog post for this week, which is about roommate problems. And what I'm doing on this video is just answering a couple of questions that a lot of people have about having a roommate, or being a roommate, and I'm just gonna answer some of those questions for you guys. My first question is, I can't cook. Help. So this is more about being a roommate than having a roommate. A lot of people worry about getting in the kitchen as a college student. You don't have to be a chef as a college student at all. Like, everything is boxed, ramen noodles. Things that you don't have to saute and bake and things like that, unless it's cookies or brownies. But you don't have to be some like miraculous 5-star chef. The best thing to do is buy things that come in a box. They have instructions on the box. Follow the instructions. Make sure you have all the tools you need, the food you need to make what's in the box, and just follow the instructions. Simple. You don't need to be a 5-star chef. Box food is a college student's best friend. Also, I recommend getting a crock pot slow cooker, because you can throw anything into the slow cooker and leave it on for a couple of hours. You go to class, you come back, it's practically done, without any effort at all. You can just, it's been my best friend for sure. So that's what I recommend. I wouldn't worry about cooking per se as much as following the instructions on the box. The next question, should I room with a family member? This is a yes and no question, mainly because it's all about roommate chemistry. Whether it's a person you know, a family member, a person you don't know that you're rooming with, you need to be sure you have roommate chemistry with this person. Meaning, sit down, talk to this person before you move in with them, fill out a roommate profile. When you move in with this person, talk to this person, especially if you're in a dorm, because sometimes it's harder to get out of a roommate situation when you're in a dorm. If you just kind of feel like you don't have the chemistry with that person. But basically, you need to sit down, you need to talk to this person. Is this family member somebody that you're okay with living with? Are they a good roommate? Do they respect your boundaries? Do you respect their boundaries? Can you get along? Those are the kinds of questions you need to ponder when you're deciding if you should live with a family member as a roommate. I know several people will say, don't ever roommate with someone that you know. That's not always true. Sometimes you can get along with people that you know better than you can get along with random people. If you're like me and you're friendly, you don't meet strangers, that can go either way, because you're not really skeptical about meeting someone and worried about, that kind of thing. But some people are more timid, and they would rather room with someone that they know rather than just a stranger. And that could be a question for them, should I room with a family member? Lots of brothers and sisters room together. There's a set of quintuplets, I think, that room together here at Troy University. So it just depends, like I said, it just depends on the roommate chemistry. It depends on whether you feel like you can get along with that person or not. The next question is, my roommate isn't clean or is a neat freak. What do I do? Simple fix is talking to the other person. A lot of these roommate problems can be solved simply by talking to your roommate. If you live with someone who's not clean, and when I say not clean, I don't mean somebody who leaves a cup on the counter every once in a while, or somebody who doesn't make their bed every once in a while. I mean, like, they're literally just completely unsanitary. They leave their garbage everywhere. They're never clean. And you feel like, for sanitary reasons, your house is not safe or it's not clean enough. for you to stay in, you need to talk to that person. Say, hey, look, you need to clean up behind yourself. We need to try to keep this area clean, and we need to do this to, in case like you have people over or something like that. You want your room to be clean. You want your house to be clean. So just sitting them down and talking to them could be a fix. If that doesn't work, call an RA or a manager or a landlord or whatever to try to help you straighten out things and get a solution to your problem. If you have somebody who is super neat freakish and they just can't, you got one little piece of paper, one little speck of dust, and they're just freaking out, then you also need to sit them down and talk to them and say, look, we're going to have trash. We're college students. We're going to have trash. We're going to have little giblets of paper. We're going to have dust. We're going to have, whatever. It's going to be okay. Like, everything doesn't have to be clean, spot on all the time. You need to be able to come to an agreement between the two of you to say, okay, I will clean up after myself, ABC. Or they say, okay, we'll let the dishes sit in the sink for a day. And after that, somebody needs to clean them up. I mean, there's just always going to need to be an agreement between the two of you, or three of you, however many roommates there is, about the cleaning situation. Whether you're on the dirty side of it or the clean side of it, there needs to be an agreement about the situation. And just make sure that everybody's on the same page about cleaning up and cleaning up after themselves. Next question. Is it okay for me to eat my roommate's food, drink their water, etc.? This is a big problem in roommate territory because, in the middle of the night, you get up, you want a bottle of water, there are bottles of water in the refrigerator, but you didn't buy them. What do you do? Well, the simple fact is, in the middle of the night is probably not the best time to do this. The best time to do this would be during the day when everybody's home, or when your roommate's home and you can talk to them up front, face to face. Everybody is cognitively aware. You need to just ask. If you say, hey, when you buy waters, can I have, is it okay if we share? Can we share snacks? Can we share this? Whatever. Always ask if you're not sure about it. And if you didn't buy it, always ask about it. If there are chips in the cabinet, always ask, hey, is it okay if I have some? Unless you and your roommates have agreed from the beginning that if I buy it, everybody in the room can have it, everybody in the house can have it. Otherwise, you need to ask, because that roommate may buy something and then they look for it later and it's been eaten or it's been drank. And that'll look bad on your part as a roommate for just taking their stuff without asking. It's always important to ask as far as that goes. But like I said, if you've come to an agreement before where it's like, okay, when I buy snacks, if they're in this cabinet, then they're free for everybody, that's fine. Otherwise, make sure you ask, because it's bad when you buy something and you go looking for it later on and you can't find it because someone other than the person who bought it ate it or drunk it. That's a big issue in roommate things. Just always remember to ask. If you're not sure, ask. And I think this is one of the biggest questions involving roommates is, I am with a person I absolutely cannot live with. What do I do? If you just absolutely have been with a person in a room, dorm, apartment, house, whatever, and you say, I absolutely cannot live with this person, it just will not work out, we cannot get along, I can't do this, you need to speak to an RA, manager, landlord, homeowner, whoever, express it in the situation, and then ask them what the next step is. As far as, do you need to leave? Do you need to move out and get a new room? Does the roommate need to move out, get a new room? And I'm sure it will depend on the situation for what they decide, depending on how serious your situation is. But you need to talk to someone who's in charge and not try to handle it, because if you're already tense with your roommate, trying to solve that problem yourself is just going to make the situation worse. So you need to make sure you find someone who is in charge of that situation, of handling that situation and dealing with that situation. And I'm sure they will find you in that solution. If all other solutions have failed, if you tried them and they have failed, then that is the best solution to solving a problem like, I can't live with my roommate. But it all comes down to just having that roommate chemistry, talking to that person, ensuring that you can get along with that person, being patient with that person, because sometimes we as people need to be a little bit more patient with each other, and that includes with our roommates. And just being courteous. Being a roommate is all about being courteous and respecting each other's boundaries. And knowing yourself and knowing your roommate. And it's college. We're here. We're all in the same boat. And it's important to know that and to share that. It'll be great to share that with someone. So, you guys, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for reading my blogs. And check me out next time. Selling Shit with JoJo Blogspot. Check it out. Love ya.